Good morning, students. Welcome back to English class. In the last video, we have studied the first part of the lesson 3, Clever Tenali Raman. Today, we will continue with the next part of the same lesson. But before moving forward, let's see what we have studied in the last video by answering the given questions. Student, answer of these questions. First is, what was the name of the king? What was the name of the king? Krishnadev Raya. Yes. Second question is, how did the king treat his people? The king treated his people with care and respect. Third question is, who was Raja Varma? Who was Raja Varma? We have learned this. Raja Varma was the most famous artist in Krishnadev Raya's court. Fourth question is, why did the king want to reward him? Why king decided to reward him? The king was extremely impressed with his work. That's why the king wanted to reward him. Fifth question is, how did the king reward Raja Varma? What was the reward? The king decided to reward Raja Varma with the post of chief minister at his court. And the last question is, did Raja Varma accept the offer? Did he accept the offer given by king? Yes, Raja Varma accepted the offer as he thought that it would be rude to say no. So up to here we have learnt in the last video. Yes. Now we will continue with the next paragraph of this story. Children, now open the page number 35 of your textbook and listen carefully. I am reading the first line. As chief minister, Raja Varma tried his best to fulfill his new duties, but his various plans and actions only led to confusion everywhere. So even though Raja Varma was not happy with the offer given by the king, he accepted the post of chief minister and started looking after the work of kingdom. He tried his best to do what is required in his work, but he always failed in that. His various plans and actions only led to confusion everywhere. Means his all plans and actions created confusion in the kingdom. Raja Varma was after all only a painter. After all, he was a painter. Yes, children, he was interested in painting, not in becoming chief minister, and that's why he was unable to do his job properly. He had never handled matters of the court, and he never solved the problems which were coming in the court. He was an intelligent man who realized that he was doing things the wrong way. He realized that whatever he is doing, that all were the wrong things, but he did not know how to solve this problem. The king, however, continued to support him. In spite of all of these, the king Krishnadev Raya supported him. But the people were not satisfied with the work of Raja Varma. The people were angry, but they did not want to say anything that would upset their king. But people did not want to say anything to the king because king himself made chief minister to Raja Varma. But finally, the town elders means the elder and respectable people of the town. The town elders decided to seek help from the king's jester Tenali Raman. But finally, the elder people of the kingdom decided to go to Tenali Raman and tell him all the situation. Now all Elders put their problem in front of Tenali Raman. So Raman got an idea. Raman had a clever idea. He invited the king and his ministers for lunch to his house. Now, see what he planned. He invited the king and his ministers to his house for the lunch. He then went to the town's best known carpenter and asked him to prepare a grand feast for his guest. Then he went to the best carpenter of the town and asked him to cook the food for guest. Feast, underline feast. Feast means a huge meal. On the day of the feast, the food was served in beautiful plates and the guests started eating greedily. Now, finally, the day of lunch came and the king and his ministers came to the lunch. They started eating. The king and his ministers started eating greedily. Greedily means just impatiently, like they are hungry from many days. So they started eating greedily. But in a few seconds, the king began to gasp and called out for water. Gasp meaning is given there in your textbook. Gasp means to breathe quickly with an open mouth because of pain. When you eat something spicy, so you start gasping. Yes, that is called gasp. So the king started gasping and he called out for water. He ordered to get water. Soon there were similar cries all round the tables. Then, along with the king, other ministers also started crying with pain. Why they started crying? Just see. Raman, this food is horrible, shouted the king. It's too spicy, too salty, and really undercooked. Who has made it? Is this your idea of a feast? Do you want us all to die? Why all were started crying? Because the food was very spicy, salty, and undercooked. What is meant by undercooked? Meaning is given in the green box. Food that has not been cooked long enough and is not ready to be eaten. It was just like raw. It was not cooked properly. So that's why king and his minister shouted at Tenali Raman, because the food was very spicy, salty, and not cooked properly. Children, what happened after this we will see in the next video. Now there is the homework for you. Children, here is your homework. You have to read the lesson carefully and learn the meanings given below and write for 2 times in your homework copy. These meanings also are given in your textbook in the green box. And one more meaning I have added, that is feast. A huge delicious meal that is served at party or celebration. So these 10 meanings you have to write for 2 times in your homework copy. Okay, I hope you have understood. Now keep doing your homework. Thank you and have a good day.